I'm not getting up on stage and doing what it is that you do. My son said something the other day. He's like, Dad, I do not know how these people remember all these words and all these chords and all these things. You guys are a special breed. So let's get yourself surrounded with someone that can help keep you on point. Someone who's resourceful, someone who's not afraid to ask for help. There's no shortage of resources that are out there, free resources too. What there's a shortage of are resourceful people. There's a shortage of people willing to do the work. Every day people come to me and it's like, dude, I don't have any money. I'm like, great, then go watch a YouTube video or go listen to a podcast. I get free information every day. There's tons of valuable information that's out there. So become resourceful. Don't just make excuses that you can't have something because you don't have money, especially if you're coming to me, because I grew up poor. I grew up on the free lunch program. Anything I wanted, I worked for. I was a very resourceful person, and I'm very resourceful to this day. So make sure that you have someone around you that's also resourceful. Someone that will show you the work that needs to be done and not just tell you. I about said something. It really bothers me when I watch people say, well, they can't do this. Great, then what should they do? Well, I don't know. Then shut up. If someone's going to come to you being negative and tell you that you've got to do this, this, and this, make sure that they can show you what it is at least that you need to do, or that they've done it themselves. Don't put yourself around someone, no matter how great you think they are, if all they're going to do is just be that negative person all the time and be that person that's like, this won't work, that won't work. No, bull. No, find yourself someone that understands this is the work that needs to be done. When I was coaching, I have a coaching background as well. The players knew what the problem was. I would just come to them with a solution, and we were all smart enough to figure it out. So that's what you need to look for in a manager. If you understand what I just said there, go ahead and type yes in the chat box, and then we will continue. Awesome. Got a good crowd here tonight. Excited that you guys are here. This is awesome. Great. Perfect. All right. Very nice. Okay. So here we go. All right. So what happened after Taylor? What was next for me after Taylor? So I'm about to share with you some things that I was able to accomplish with certain clients. Anything that I share with you, I'm going to go ahead and stop the presentation for a second. Anything that I share with you, if you feel that it would benefit you, take it. This is my gift to you. Okay. I give you permission to take any of these ideas that you're going to hear and use them in your own business. Because like I said, not all of you are at the same place. So if you hear anything, be okay to run with it. So I told you 2007 was gone 187 days, gave my notice in January of 2008 to Taylor, ended up working through the Grammys until May. And then what I ended up doing was saying, hey, I just want to get to Nashville. I want my kids raised in the South where manners aren't an option. I want to have everybody here. I want to be able to do everything that I can to be successful, but I knew I needed to get to Nashville. So I get a call from Joe Galante, the head of Sony Music. And he says, listen, he said, let's get together and I want to take you to lunch. I think it's time we got to know each other a little better. I was very nervous. He was the most powerful person in Nashville and I'd never met him. But he said, look, it's time we got to know each other a little better. And when we sat down, he was the first person that ever asked me what my goals were. And I said, simple. If someone comes to Nashville and they say there's 5 people that you need to meet that will steer you straight, I said, I just want to be one of those 5 people. And he said, interesting. He said, why do you say that? I said, Joe, I said, right now I feel guilty. I said, all these dads are showing up in Nashville with their daughters in cowboy boots and sundresses, thinking that's the magic formula, ready to write me a check for whatever amount I say. They'll write me a check to make their daughter the next Taylor Swift. I said, there is no secret to success. There is no magic formula, but there's a lot of people that are out there taking their money, chasing radio songs and things like that. I had a family that came to me. They lost $350,000 on their 15-year-old daughter, trying to hire the same people that played on Taylor records and things like that. And I'm like, that's just not the way that it goes. He says, well, listen, and write this down. Okay. This is a very valuable learning lesson. I teach through stories. He said, not to take anything away from Taylor, her family, the record company, but my team saw what you did with her. He said, you forget, Rick, you guys were opening up for all of my artists because he had all the superstars. We were the baby act at the time. He said, they saw the way you worked with her. They saw the way that you taught her. They saw the ideas that you had, and they watched them come to life. He said, and that's what I mean. You never know who's watching. Okay. So it was super important at that point. He said, listen, he says, I think you'd do great as a consultant with Sony. I said, okay. I excused myself. I went to the restroom. I called my wife back in Santa Barbara, and it was a BlackBerry at the time. And I said, Jill, I said, go type in Yahoo. Google wasn't around. I said, go type in, what does a consultant do? I said, I'm being offered this job and I have no idea what it does. And she started laughing at me because that's what wives do. And she said, oh, they get paid and they teach in areas of their expertise, and it looks like they get paid really well. So I immediately accepted the job as a consultant. He said, I'd love for you to be in the A&R department and the marketing department. He said, you're going to be the guy on the phone call that nobody knows is there, and I want you to create these plans for these artists. And I was like, okay. I was doing this. I was submitting these plans, and nothing was ever getting shown to the artist. And I'm like, you guys are paying me $100,000 for a 6-month consulting contract, because yes, consultants do get paid really well. I said, but you're not using any of this stuff. And the guy came back to me and he says, the managers don't understand what it is that you're saying. I said, then let me go explain it to them. He says, they're afraid. I said, what are they afraid of? They said, well, they're afraid that you're going to poach their clients. I'm like, guys, if I wanted to stay in management, I would have stayed with the ship that was flying. I got out of it for that reason. But what I realized was there were managers that were making decisions on behalf of their clients, and the clients weren't even getting shown these opportunities. And now I'm stuck because I'm like, okay, wait a minute. I have a direct relationship with the artist. I also don't want to screw off the manager. So I realized at that point that it is your responsibility as the artist to make sure that you understand what's going on in your business. So I just thought that was something that was very important for you guys to understand. So let's jump back into the presentation. Here we go. So right after Sony, I'm working with Sony. I also said, I'll agree to consult, but I also want to manage artists. So I'm about to share with you the different artists that I had, at what levels that they came to me, and some of the various things that we did with them. Now, early on in my career, this was back in 2008, being in Nashville, coming off of Taylor, all I worked with was primarily country artists. Right now, I've got clients in over 20 countries and 19 different genres of music. So I'm excited because I get to work with a lot of different people. So as you see these examples, these are just examples, but there's some really cool things that you can be doing yourself here. And I want you to write some of this stuff down. Know that you're going to get a replay also. So first artist that I started working with, her name was JORDYN SHELLHART. She came to me at 13 years old. She was working with a guy. He asked me to listen to the music, fell in love with the music. I said, why don't we get you a publishing deal? There's no rush for you to be an artist. Why don't we work on the music? Why don't we get the songs right? All of you guys, the songs, so important. There's nothing I can do if you don't have the music right. So she went 14 years old. She, on her birthday, she played for a publishing company. What a publishing company is, for those that don't know, is they pay you as a songwriter, and you're either writing songs for yourself as the artist that they hope to get cut one day. That's how they'll get their money back. Or they're having you write songs for other artists. So she was paid $30,000 a year as a freshman in high school to come in town and write with some of the best songwriters in the world. At that time, we're starting to build her audience online. And I decided, let's put out our own record. We have an audience. We don't need a record company to do that. We went ahead and recorded her own record. We did it right in the front room of my office. That's why it's called In a Room. She played the guitar, the piano. We had her producer play a little percussion, and we put out a 15-song CD, partnered up with Best Buy. Now, let me explain to you the partnership side of things. A lot of times you necessarily don't have to have the money. There's this thing called OPM. We call it other people's money. So a lot of you will go to major corporations asking for cash. They don't have it. Who does? Are their foundations. The foundations are the causes that corporations get behind. In Best Buy's situation, it happened to be a foundation called At 15, where they did work with teenagers. And I'm like, awesome. This girl's about to turn 15. We'll get them to pay for the record. We'll get them to give us some money to go out and tour. We'll give them all the content and things that they needed. They loved the idea. When her CD came out, just like every major artist, as an independent, she was featured in their store. So 15 years old, now Sony comes knocking at the door. Says, hey, I understand you're working with Jordan. I said, yeah. He says, I'm hearing her name everywhere. I heard you guys released your own CD. I said, yeah. He says, how's it doing? And I told him how many we had sold. And he said, we would love to sign her to a deal at Sony and we'll license that record for you. Now, the reason that I'm telling you this is some of you are waiting to put out music until you're waiting until you get the record deal. No, 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 no. The record companies today, they're not designed to start businesses, and you are a business. They're designed to jump in on small businesses that are working. So what we did is we went ahead and put the music out. Now they came and structured a deal with us to license her record. We own the masters. She got her music out. She gets signed to a major label at 15 years old. At 16, there she is down in the bottom right, debuts at the Grand Ole Opry. So we did everything ourselves without a label. Today, there are more tools for you to be able to do that. I also had a couple other major label clients. We had Chuck Wicks, who was signed to RCA. He was on Dancing with the Stars. Kate and Casey, twin sisters. Their manager also came to me, and he had taken them as far as they could. I listened to the music, fell in love with it. I was consulting Big Machine Records at the time. I knew that they were looking for a duo. I brought them in. They ended up getting signed. But here's what happens. Is just because you get signed to a record company doesn't mean that you move to the top of the list. You're now an employee and you have to sit and wait your turn. Well, me, I'm a very impatient dude. I don't like waiting for anyone. So I went out and started creating our own opportunities. Once again, if you hear any of these ideas and you want to use them for yourself, you have my permission to steal them. All right. I'm giving them to you. No need to steal them. I just gave them to you. My whole thing, especially watching Taylor, and watching the effect that she had when she got in front of an audience, is I wanted to figure out where audiences were trapped. Campgrounds. Love me some campgrounds. So I went, we got a 60-foot Prevost bus. I learned how to drive, and we would go every weekend, pull into these campgrounds on Friday, set up shop. We would play music. All of a sudden, people would come over. They were selling CDs. They were selling T-shirts. They were making fans. And then my light bulb went off, and I'm like, wait, NASCAR's got bigger campgrounds. Why don't we go do that? So we started doing NASCAR campgrounds. And then I said, hey, I've got artists signed to major labels. Why don't I see if they need someone to sing the national anthem and get a little TV exposure for the artist? So then we started getting TV exposure, and we had multiple sponsorships and endorsements. Life was good, guys. I'm telling you, I was a consultant to Sony Music. I had Black River Music, had an indie artist that wanted to be their own record company. So I was consulting and helping them. And I had 3 major label artist. So now we're going to do a little math. Ray, don't ruin the surprise. Here we go. So the way that businesses work is that all the money that comes in starts up here. Then you have your expenses, and then whatever's left over is what you make. So let's do some quick math. So my income at that time as a consultant was about $300,000 from the consulting business. Took about $180,000 to run the management company. Okay, that was with staff, rent, expenses for touring, promotion of my artist. That year was also a year that I was surprised, and I ended up getting a tax bill for about $40,000. Remember, I didn't finish high school. I had always been an employee. I didn't know that when you're your own boss, you need to save money. So when we add everything up, that meant that we had $300,000 that came in, $220,000 that went out. So what remained was $80,000. That's what I was going to be able to keep to support me and the family. Now, without the commissions of the artist, to get back to that $150,000 that I made with Taylor, I was only short like 70 grand. Okay. So I'm like smiling at this point. Okay. So let's do some quick math. How much income do you think that I made from a 15% commission structure with all of my clients? I'm going to give you the setup. 3 artists. I'm on a 15% commission with each of them. All 3 have major record label deals. All 3 have publishing deals. All 3 have booking agents. And if they make 100,000, I get 15,000. So let's go ahead, jump in the chat, see who's good with math, and see what we got going on here with some guesses here. 130,000, Sam, good guess. I'll take some sip of coffee while we're doing this. 5,000, 250,000, 45,000, 120,000, 225,000, 90,000, 240,000, 80, 15,000. Okay, so 50,000. Marco says I'm bad at math. That's okay, Marco. Kevin Johnson says 60,000. Official Edison and Dave the Rave. You two are correct. The number is 0. Absolutely nothing. Now let me explain why. That's one of the biggest myths in the industry. You guys think just because someone signed to a major label that everybody's rolling in the dough. That's not it at all. Okay, that is not it at all. So what was the problem? Problem for me is that I wasn't making any income from my clients. I was actually losing money funding the whole operation, because at the beginning stages of an artist's career, just like with any business, you're having to put money back in the company in order for it to keep going. I was losing money every month so that they could live their dream of being an artist signed to a major label. I didn't know any better. I was hoping that at some point down the road that I'd get paid back what I personally put in. So my thought process was this, that if I could keep the ship running, when the artist started making money, I would be paid back. I was doing what's called deferring commissions. And what that means is that if you got paid $1,000 for a show, we wrote down $150 in my deferred commission column. That's when I was told by a friend of mine who was a very reputable manager of a big artist, the following statement that changed everything for me. All businesses, including the music business, take time to become profitable, if ever. It is not the manager's job to use their own money to advance the artist's career. It's their business, not yours. The manager is an employee. The artist is the employer. Employees don't pay to run the business. That is the job of the employer. Now, those 3 artists, they ended up quitting. JORDYN realized after 3 years, she started having some vocal issues. Kate and Casey decided they wanted to have babies. Chuck went off and did Dancing with the Stars. And when he came back, other people got better. So all that time, those 3 years that I put in with all those artists, even though I had them under contract, nothing to be made. Now, if you truly understand what I just shared, let me know in the chat box, because that is very important that you understand exactly what's going on in the business. And this is probably answering some questions that you may have had for a long time right now. Going, wow, because see, it doesn't matter how great you think your music is. If we can't find an audience for your music, the manager never gets paid. And the manager's work is done on the front end. There may or may not be a back end. And that's one of the reasons why I do what it is that I do today. All right. So here we go. We'll continue. I'll shut down the chat. And that was a very eye-opening experience for me, by the way. So what did I do? Closed my management office. I wanted to find a way to be able to help artists get the information that they needed without having to personally manage all of them. Now, I was just kind of curious, was there a win-win situation that I could create? And these questions kept popping up. If artists were paying for vocal lessons, music lessons, recording, publicity, videos, PR, equipment, travel, legal help, formal education, would they also pay for career guidance and mentorship, especially from someone who'd had a proven track record of breaking artists in the new digital era? The answer was yes. I found people who understood that this was a business, and for their business to succeed, they needed someone guiding the ship who not only understands the business, but someone who's had success doing it consistently. So I was not willing to give up the consulting money, but I had to figure out a way where I could help artists. And everyone who wanted to take me to lunch or pick my brain seemed to be asking the same questions. So that's when the Music Industry Blueprint was born. Back in right around 2011, I was going to the internet, typing in how to get a record deal, how to get a publishing deal, how to find a manager, how to find a publisher, some of the things you might have typed in and saw one of my ads or one of my videos. And I realized that all the videos were old. And no one was talking about this new digital age. Everyone else, all the other managers were out there crossing their fingers, hoping that they found the next superstar and all the stars aligned and the moon and everything. I'm like, no, wait a minute. Let me get information to these artists that I know are hungry, because they kept reaching out on Twitter and wanted everything. So I went out and I hit up all these people that I had access to. You couldn't get to a record company. You couldn't get to a publishing company, the entertainment attorney. So I went and I said, listen, I'll pay you $500 for an hour of your time, but I'm going to record this interview, but I get to take the video and put it in a course. They were like, oh my gosh, you're willing to pay us? I'm like, absolutely. That's your time. Your time has value. What you know has value. And if you're spending a Saturday with me, it's a Saturday you're not spending with your kids. So everyone showed up that I had asked to come speak. Why? Because they were getting paid. We did it in front of a live audience, and I took all that information and I created my very first course called the Music Industry Blueprint. And what that was is it was just videos that walked you through the steps of setting up your business and how to do marketing and things like that. It was everything that I said, if I can't meet with every single person, what would I want them to have to be able to do this? And the very first course I sold was $497. This was back in 2011. And we had almost 2,800 people purchase that course. I'm like, wow, they do want information. And then everyone was like, social media, Rick, what do you do? You're verified on all these accounts. Can you help us understand social media? So every time people come to me asking questions, I create a program, and I created Social Media for Music, sold it for $97. Matter of fact, it's still at $97 today. It's one thing I haven't done is I haven't raised that price. So I started creating all these courses. But what was cool is that I was helping a whole bunch of people, thousands of people all over the world with this knowledge, and I wasn't having to physically manage all of them. There were no faces to this. They would sign up, PayPal would collect their money, send them a username and password, and then I got invited to speak at a Tom Jackson event. And that's when all of a sudden in the audience were all these people who had purchased one of my programs. I was now putting faces to these people, and now I felt that I wanted to do more. I had the bug where I wanted to be able to help more people. So people started reaching out going, hey, are you managing artists? I said, no, I'm not really managing artists right now, but I'm consulting. And they're like, well, how much is it? And I couldn't charge them the $100,000 for 6 months that I was charging everyone else. So what I did is I structured a deal where I would charge them $2,500 a month. We would get together either in person if they were in Nashville or online a couple times a week. And I would help grow their business, help them understand the business. First client that came to me, her name was Maddy Newton. Her parents, they wanted me to be her college. They said, look, we can go spend $40,000 at a university, or we can spend, $30,000 with you. So they chose to come my route. Maddy and I have been together for a long time. Maddy actually works for me part-time. She's an amazing artist. I was able to open up doors for her when she got the music right. Her last couple songs have had major success at Radio Disney. She gets checks on a regular basis, and now she's about ready to get married. One of the other people that came to me was Stuart from the Springs. This is him and his wife, Holly. As you notice there, this is an independent artist that you've probably never heard of. But do you see that nice Billboard logo there? Number 33 on the Billboard music charts is an independent artist. Why? Because the internet doesn't care. The only people that care if you have a record deal sometimes are you. The internet doesn't care. Streams and sales, they can come from anywhere. They were able to pull this off with about an audience size. Okay, as you see, they have 175,000 followers on their Twitter on this page. They did this with about 3,000 people. They took the time to build the audience, and when they said jump, the audience did, and they were able to chart as an independent artist. This young lady, CALI RODI, to the left, I met CALI actually at the very first live event. I had a VIP opportunity for people to be able to play live for me and some industry folks afterwards. CALI was one of those folks. CALI, I ended up getting on board with. I just fell in love with their music, and I said, if I can help you, I can. I put together a plan, walked that plan into Joe Fisher over here on the left. He was at Universal Music at the time, and he said, hey, I've got a publishing deal with Keith Urban if you guys would like to sign CALI to a publishing deal. And we did. Can anyone guess who these guys are right here? Any of my older audience that might recognize them? Rock and Roll Hall of Famers. So ignore the guy to the left. That's Scott from Big Machine Records. Ignore the guy in the back with the big smile. That's me. The guys in the front. Yes, Angels. Cheap Trick. Sam, you're correct. Yes. So Cheap Trick signed a record deal to release their new rock album and realized that, you know what, the business has changed a lot since they had released a record. So I talked them into doing a whole bunch of social media. It was like teaching your grandfather how to use the remote control for the first time. It was awesome when they started doing Instagram lives and Facebook lives and everything they had in the studio. I would just hand it to them and make them sign it. And we started putting together all these great pre-order opportunities with autographed guitars and sheet music and videos and signed tennis shoes and everything. We absolutely killed it for them. I can't tell you the exact number, but know that it was multiple six figures, and they were very happy. All we did was figured out what their audience wanted, and we created that opportunity for them. CIMORELLI to the left, one of the first big YouTube stars, their mom actually emailed me. She had reached out to me on Twitter, asked for my email. I gave it to her. She sent me a letter, and she was managing her daughters, and she wanted me to manage her. I have a lot of people in my world that are managers that just love brainstorming and strategizing. And what they wanted to figure out was how to take, you know, their millions of YouTube subscribers, get them onto an email list, and then ultimately make offers to them, because at that time they'd only made revenue from their streams or when they toured. Well, as you guys know, guess what? There's no touring right now, but there's a lot of people making money because they have the opportunity to sell to an audience that they built. So I went out and helped them. We did a couple cool little pre-orders for them. They did multiple six figures as well on their pre-orders. This is a very interesting story for any of you that are doing these television shows. Make sure that you understand the contracts that you're signing. So Vivian, the little girl in the Yankees hat, I spoke at an event in Canada when she was 12 years old, and her mom bought my social media for music course, my little $97 course. And I ended up getting involved with a television show up in Canada called The Launch. She was a contestant on The Launch, and she didn't win her episode, but they ended up executing her contract. So she signed a development deal with the record company. And then all these people were just kind of hounding her mom, and she didn't know how to handle it. And I said, look, why don't I help you for a little while with Vivian? I said, let me see the contract so I can understand what's going on. I got the contract. I said, so you guys have already picked up your signing bonus. And the mom's like, what signing bonus? I'm like, 5 months ago when you signed this, you were supposed to get this lump sum of money. They're like, oh my gosh, we had no idea. So I went in immediately and got them the money that they were owed, put together her budgets for production and things like that. And then when things weren't working out at the label because they just weren't giving her the attention that she wanted, I helped negotiate her out of that deal and then handed her off to a team up in Canada where she's from. She's from Toronto, and she's actually getting ready to sign another record deal when she's up there. Trent Harmon, American Idol winner. Trent came to me after his management company went bankrupt. He had a top 15 single, and the company who signed him after American Idol went bankrupt. So I picked up the slack, started working with Trent, one of my favorite people in the world. That's LYNN from The Voice. My job was also getting artists ready for radio tours. So I've been involved in a lot of different areas of the business. Every single situation has been different. Once again, no two artists' career paths are ever the same. But I was exhausted. I was managing Trent. He was signed to the label. I had a whole bunch of artists that I was working with online now that I was doing consulting. And finally in March 2019, last about a year ago, I made a huge decision. I ended up getting rid of all my day-to-day management clients, and I walked away from my major label clients. It just wasn't fun. You know, not all money is the right money. Write that down. Not all money is the right money. I knew that if I could focus on my business and the teaching and the things that I love to do, but when you're getting a $10,000 check every month from a record company, when they call, you have to go. And I'm like, man, I'm putting out fires that I didn't even create. So I went to my wife, and try having a conversation with your wife when you say, hey, I'm going to walk away from $120,000, the only guaranteed money that we get. But I know that if I can focus my attention, there's more people that I can help, and it'll be more beneficial to us. Luckily for me, my wife trusts me. And luckily for me, I always have a plan. And what I did last year is I started offering my service as a personal manager to artists from all over the world. It started off originally at a very low ticket, you know, once a month I would show up and answer questions, and it's evolved into something I'll share with you here in a second. But now I have the ability to serve people all over the world. And that's what I absolutely love. right now. People just like you on this very same presentation, like Marty Ray. Marty Ray came to me. He already had a 500,000 YouTube subscribers. He just wanted to learn how to make money. The council band, they'd already had songs that were in, the Olympics and Major League Baseball. They just wanted to learn how to grow their Spotify. They just wanted to learn how to get themselves set up to look professional. Nelegy, him and his mom, he's a young rapper. His mom came to me, Nicole, down at the bottom. You're going to learn more about Nicole here in a second. She's been with me for a long time. She's an older artist that just said, look, I don't have time to waste trying to learn everything myself. I want to speed up this process. Down in the middle, that's the Bell Rays. The Bell Rays are a husband and wife punk rock band who've been playing live for over 30 years. And recently, when their whole touring business shut down, they come to me and they started utilizing the strategies I was teaching. And I got a great email from them that said, look, we thought that we were above this because we've been touring for so long, but right now we were broke. And we went and did what you told us to do with those Facebook Lives, and we did $1,500 on our last 2 Facebook Lives. And then KJ Saka is one of the best EDM drummers in the world, plays with some of the bigger bands. Him and his manager wanted to come in just to be able to shoot ideas and brainstorm on a couple solo projects that he had. This is what I love getting right now. This is from Patrick from the band Council. So part of having me as your manager is I listen to music and I give advice. And they had sent me some music. I took a listen to it. They said, thank you so much. We record with Matt Squire again next week for one more song. He's a big time rock producer. So that leaves us with 3 ready to release and shop them with Born Ready. I bought the Spotify Bible, sent over 500 emails, and got added to a lot of playlists to help with the Spotify algorithm. Some are bigger, but now we're at over 254,000 monthly listeners. And next Monday, we'll be added to some of the top playlists, one of the biggest independent curators in the world, and featured on their podcast and blog. Also been using your social media strategies. So these guys, all they wanted, we needed to set up a plan that was great for them. Next thing, Kristen Brooks, they joined last October. In November, happy Thanksgiving, everyone. So much to be grateful for. Thank you, Rick, for all you've shared with us. Randall Brooks and I are super excited to share that our new Bhakti House Band album, Roots to Revolutions, debuted at number 5 on the iTunes charts. Thank you, Rick, for sharing your wisdom and experience. We've only put into practice a few of the things that we've learned so far. Can't wait to see what happens. Here's what's exciting about this. The iTunes chart, that's paid downloads. Remember I said earlier that the fans do not have to pay in order to get access to your music? Well, when you have a relationship with them, they're willing to spend money. And here they did at iTunes. Now, the question is this: will you see results like this for your career? I can't promise you that. I don't know your work ethic, your willingness to take instruction, or the quality of your music, but I can tell you this: no one woke up with an audience. Everyone started at 0 and had to put in the work. The question is, will you? Tony Robbins says it best: you can turn decades into days by working with those who've been where you want to go. Now, my promise to you today is clarity. But first, if you agree that you're ready to do the work that goes into doing things the right way, even if it isn't easy, you're ready to work and not get distracted by shiny objects, and you are willing to have an open mind, go ahead and let me know in the chat box. We're getting close to that Q&A, so in a second, you can start putting your questions in the Q&A part. Know that I will not see them in the chat. There's just been too much activity going on there, and I won't be able to go back, but we've got your Q&A coming up here in just a few minutes. All right, you ready? So what is that one piece of advice that I give all my clients that will absolutely change the game? Be patient. Patience is a very valuable word. And unfortunately, some people think patience means waiting for opportunities to come to them. True patience right now means doing the work and investing the time and money in yourself to become prepared for those opportunities. Told you about Nicole earlier. So many people said I couldn't achieve my dream. Today, a major one came true. I just became a Billboard charting artist at number 50 on the dance chart. Anyone who knows me knows I love to dance. My song Higher to Heaven is number 50. I can't believe I'm on the same chart as Madonna, Lizzo, Sam Smith, Tiesto, and lots more. I couldn't be more grateful. It's been a long journey with many miles flown, hours of writing, recording, redoing, singing, networking, studying, and whatever else I had to do in order to focus. I can only say, if you have a dream, go for it. And if there's something that you want, Don't be afraid to try. Don't listen to the naysayers. Go for it no matter what people say. She ended up getting her chart position up to number 39, and she's given me permission to say this. She's actually older than her chart position. Here's the thing about the internet, folks. It doesn't discriminate. It could care less about your economic status, how old you are, where you grew up, what pronoun you want to be called. The bottom line is this: if you've got great music, there's an audience out there for you. You just have to go find it. And when you find that audience, you're able to get Billboard charting songs and Billboard charting records and start making multiple six figures a year. You've just got to be willing to do the work to go out there and get it. So what's your biggest setback? What do you feel is holding you back? If you're like most of my management clients, it's probably one of the following or a combination of them: self-doubt, fear, lack of connections, lack of time, getting your music in front of the right people, not enough outlets in your city, amount of competition, lack of finances, you don't have a team, no manager. They're all just limiting beliefs. Every single one of them you can overcome if you want to. The only thing you can't overcome is music that sucks and death. I can't help those two things. Other than that, we got you. All right. Now, what would things look like if you were to remove any and all of these limiting beliefs and instead move forward with certainty? Be pretty amazing, right? So here's what we've covered so far: what a manager is, what a manager does, what to look for in a manager. I showed you examples of what having someone guiding your career looks like, pulled back the curtain on a huge myth in the industry. That's Marty Ray. We actually, like I said, he came with an audience. Some of you might be in that position. I was able to create a $7,500 opportunity for him the third day that we were working together, because he already had an audience and we were able to put something together. It absolutely blew his mind. This Saturday night before Easter, Marty sends me this: made $4,300 on a live online show last night. Said, that's awesome, man. Hope everything's safe. We're good, brother. Jesus is risen. Y'all good? He says, by the way, I wasn't bragging. I was just letting you know because you turned me on to doing actual online concerts. So thank you very much. I said, I never see it as bragging. He is risen. We are good. Now, would you agree that having the right manager, it could drastically improve your chances for achieving your goals and dreams in your music career? That when you get your hands on all the information you need to build a successful career, that it'll be much easier, that the chances of your success would dramatically increase? If you were able to acquire meaningful connections to industry insiders who can help your music get heard by the right people, it would be valuable. Would it be safe to assume that by having access to someone who knows what the heck they're doing can show you what to do, that it would speed up your process? Just let me know quickly in the chat box, because right now, with what you've learned today, you've got a choice. You can continue doing what you're doing and hope that a qualified manager finds you. And by the way, you'd be farther along than most. And I want you to take any of those ideas that I gave you and run with them. However, it's going to take a long time to learn and try everything, especially if you're trying to do it by yourself. And in this type of industry, timing is everything. Now, our time, speaking of which, is almost up. I've only had time to share the tip of the iceberg with you, but I want more. I want the ability to give you more, and I want to help you get more. And honestly, if you've stuck around with me this long and put up with my stories, I think that you want more. We've got the Q&A coming up here in just a second. But here's what I want to do for you right now. I told you that there would be a pitch made at the end. Stick around, because I've got something pretty much for everyone, no matter what level that they're at right now. But what I'm excited to offer you right now is the ability to have me as your personal manager. I know that's why a lot of you are here. I know that's why a lot of you who found me on Instagram signed up for this, is to find out how we can work together. So here's how it works. I'm going to give you everything that you need to be successful in starting your career. Step number one is, after you become a client tonight, you're going to get access to the tools that you need to set up your business properly in online courses that I have created for you. You're going to join the community, start networking with my other management clients inside the private Facebook group. You're going to be sent an intake form, and you're going to schedule your one-on-one video session with me personally. I want links to your music. I want links to your website. I want to know exactly where you are right now. I want to be able to do my homework before we get together, because the next step is we're going to have our one-on-one call where we're going to go over your intake form and we're going to help you set up your next steps. There's a reason why I do it, because I want to get you to the quickest victory possible, kind of like what I did with Marty Ray. Step number 5 is you're going to start showing up to the weekly management sessions with questions specific to your situation, and let me guide and direct you. Everyone's situation is different. It's not like high school. We all don't start as freshmen and sophomores. No, you are where you are. And because we do the intake form the way we do it, and because we communicate the way that we do, you're going to have questions based on where you are in your business. And more importantly, I'll be with you every step of the way. You have email access to me 24/7, my personal cell phone number for emergencies, and our monthly check-in calls. That's right, once a month. I'm just going to check in. Where are you at? What's going on? What can I help you with? Where are you stuck? We're going to be talking to each other on the weekly calls within the group anyway, but I want that one-on-one time with you every month as well. I'm also going to show you the work that needs to be done to be competitive, because you are competing with the rest of the world. When you want on those playlists, guess what? So does Drake. So does Kanye. So does Taylor. When you want those opportunities at radio, so do they. When fans find you, they're seeing you right up next to them. We're going to make sure that you're competitive. I'm also going to hold you accountable and challenge you to be better. When we sit down, one of the last questions is, what do you realistically want to see happen by the end of this year? We're going to set some realistic goals, and I'm going to hold you accountable to get them. So if you've been pissing around for a while, and just for that, you may want to come on board to finally have somebody help get you out of that, that stalemate that you're in right now. I'm also going to teach and mentor your team. I think it's super important that the people around you know exactly what it is that you're learning. Remember, I said you may have that person in your world already that would love nothing more than to be a manager. They're going to get to learn from me. I'm going to get to mentor them as well. Your parent, whoever it is, if they're on your team, they're also going to get direct access to me. So what's this going to cost? My goal today is to make this the easiest and best investment that you've ever made. Keeping in mind the current situation that we're in right now, I'm going to make a couple different options available to you. Don't worry. It's not going to be the $150,000 a year that Taylor paid. Matter of fact, it's not even going to be the $2,500 per month that my private coaching clients paid. For a limited time, I'm accepting 10 people tonight to have me as your personal manager for the next 12 months. And here's what you're going to get. Me as your manager for a year, 24/7 email access, personal cell phone number for emergencies, monthly live one-on-one check-ins, live management sessions. We do them every week, 4 to 5 a month. Lifetime access to the fan base blueprint. Everything I know right now in the palm of your hand, right there for you. I'm also going to give you access to the MIB Masterclass. That's me having friends of mine from other industries, film and television, songwriting, I've brought into the world to give them access to you and you access to them. Lifetime access to social media for music. Every year I put out a new social media for music course. You get access to that course. We have our private Facebook community with other management clients. That's where you're going to meet your future collaborators and possibly producers. And we have publishers in there and PR people and other managers actually. And you get discounts on any future courses that I create. When people are having problems, I create courses. Because you are an all access pass member, you will get discounts on those courses. Total value is $30,000 a year. But like I said, I want to make this an absolute no-brainer for the right people. So today only, you'll get in for just $1,997. For less than what people were paying monthly to have access to me, you are now going to get the opportunity to have me as your manager for a year for $1,997. Or if you'd like to, if it came tonight and you're like, oh my gosh, I wasn't thinking about, that's okay. I'll even be willing to break it up into installments for you. You can save $100 if you want to go one time, or I'll do 3 installments spaced out 30 days apart at $700 each. And I'm also going to do for you, because like I said, my goal is to be with you for the next couple years to get you into a position where you're at a label or another manager is able to come on because you've generated revenue. Your yearly renewal price to have me as your manager, if you come in tonight, is only going to be $997 a year. Okay. So let's break it down for you. For less than $170 a month or $5.50 a day, you have me as your personal manager. So if having a manager, all of you've come to Instagram, Rick, be my manager, be my manager. I need a manager. Right now, I'm giving you the opportunity to have me for less than $170 a month. All you have to do is go to ricksliveoffer.com. That's ricksliveoffer.com. BERKLEE.com. If you're watching this on the replay, a button should have popped up somewhere. Go ahead and click it and reserve your spot. Plus, for the first time ever, as an all-access client, you can now tell people that I am your manager when it's appropriate to help you open doors. And I'll tell you why. I want the credit. It's great that I've got Taylor and Florida Georgia Line and all these people on the wall, but you know what? My success is based off your success. My success is based off the Marty Rays and the KJ Sakas and the people that were here just like you. As long as you're doing well, if I can walk you into these places when you're ready and people know that you went through my program, that's going to change my life. That's going to change my family's life. As long as people keep having babies that want to be famous, I never run out of a potential audience as long as clients like you are having success. So you've got a very motivated Rick right now. Now, would you agree that the ability to not have to waste time and money because of lack of knowledge or guidance would be something that you'd welcome into your world at this time? That being able to work with me directly would have an impact on your career and your growth. Now, where else could you get information about the ins and the outs of the music business? Let's talk about this for a second. Multiple places, in fact. One of those places is Berklee College of Music. You can go get a 27 credit, 9 courses, music business class, learning the very broad basics of the music business for $13,473. Is it worth it? I guess. It's very expensive. Limitations with which in colleges and universities must operate. Since the courses must be accredited, the updates are very slow and cumbersome. You must go at their pace, not your own, which means you might not always get the latest or best information. They definitely have no vested interest in your success. They don't have the ability to open any doors for you. You cannot get them on the phone. And most of the time you're being taught by people who've had zero success in the music business, and they've never managed anyone. All right. Let me tell you what a $997 investment looked like and changed my life. Last March, that picture there, year ago, 2019, I weighed 253 pounds. I knew everything. I had my workout set up because I learned it online. I had my diet set up because I learned it online. I'm working out 4 days a week and I'm stuck at 253 pounds. And I heard this young lady speak. She said, Nashville, you could stand to lose a little weight. I'm like, holy crap, there's 6,000 people in here and this woman's talking to me. She goes, there's some guys out there that have bigger breasts than the women. I'm like, oh my God, she is talking to me. So I reached up to her. I said, Christy, I said, whatever you got, I'm buying. She goes, you don't want to know the price? I said, I don't care about the price. I care about being a 55-year-old dad that dies because he's fat. I said, I've been doing everything. I've read every article. I've done this. It's all out there. She said, Rick, you're not an expert. Quit trying to diagnose yourself. Quit trying to do this by yourself. She said, if you could follow instructions, I have a 3-month course. It's $997. She said, you don't get me. That's like $20,000. But if you could follow instructions and you can map this out, you can have success. I said, I'm all in. Guess what? 4 months later, that's the picture to the right. I meet Gary V, one of my heroes. Gary Vaynerchuk. I weighed 210 pounds because I stopped thinking that I was the expert in everything. I stopped trying to, self-prescribe myself by utilizing the internet. I went and I got expert help. Why? Because here's my why. I want to be able to help as many artists as I can who are serious about their career and to provide for my family. I couldn't do that dead. I also want to change the lives of millions of people with songs I didn't write or perform by teaching you how to get your music out to the world the same way that I did with Taylor. Once again, everything you're going to get tonight, $30,000 value, you get it tonight for only $19.97. Only 10 people that we'll be able to take on. I'll start looking here in a second to see what we're up to. We can also break it out into payments. And right before we jump into questions, let's fast forward from a year to today. If having me as your manager allowed you to finally make a full-time income with your music, allowed you to take advantage of one career-changing opportunity, allowed you to avoid one bad career-destroying decision, and allowed you to have the career that you always wanted, and finally allowed you to show those that doubted you that you made it, would it be worth it? If you answered yes, you'll probably agree that it's virtually impossible not to realize your maximum potential and see growth in your career. So as we jump into the questions, if you have them, I want you to put them into the Q&A part. Matt and my team have been collecting questions right now. I'm going to start answering them for you. I will get to yours. If you want, go to ricksliveoffer.com and we'll let you know how this goes. So does genre matter? No, genre does not matter. The reason why is that I don't manage genres, I manage people. If you have a genre that has an audience, then we can work together. I have right now, I think it's coming up on 20 different genres of music that I have artists that are involved with, including spoken word. I've got a lot of kid artists, hip hop artists, rock artists, death metal, just added our first emo rapper to the mix, country. We've got it all. So genre does not matter. Why do you only take on 10 clients at a time? The reason for that is because I personally onboard each and every one of you. And I also am available every day for my current client roster. So what I'm doing is I'm just taking it slowly. I mean, we usually, usually by the time this is done, we'll have those 10 spots filled up. Now we're doing 2 spots a week. So yeah, it's just, I want to be the one to do this because I need to find your quickest win. I need to find what's been holding you back. The only way I can do that is if I'm the one personally doing this for you. I don't farm it out to a sales team or anything like that. It's me and you, baby. That's what we got going on. Will you listen to my music and give feedback? Absolutely. The first thing I'm going to do is listen to your music. It's very important to me that the music's right, or at least competitive. It's like if I don't have competitive music, I then need to either get you into a place where you could be competitive, or I just need to say this isn't going to work for either one of us. When will we know that I'm ready for doors to be open? As soon as I know that we've checked all the boxes that they're going to ask. My job is to get you in the door. Your job is to stay in the door. The only way for us to do that is to make sure that you've got that opportunity. Now, opportunities may come your way as well, and I may have to get on the phone and represent you, which I do all the time, and then I'll know what they're looking for, and then I'm able to kind of coach you through that situation right now. Let me go ahead and say welcome to the Nelson. SH Nelson 97. I think you were on Instagram a little earlier. Very excited that you're here. That means that there are 8 spots now available. Can I get additional one-on-one time with you? Yes, you can. I only make it available to my clients. I sell a half-hour consulting slot and a 1-hour consulting slot. Most of the time, we don't need to go there because with your emails and the management sessions, I'm able to answer your calls, and I'd rather you save that money and use it for Instagram and Facebook ads, which we do a lot of inside the course. But sometimes we need to just sit down and focus on you, and we can do that. What if I'm in a band? Do we each have to pay? Nope. This is for all of you. This is for manager and client. This is for you and your best friend. I already told you, I want your team to be able to understand that. I'm one of the few that I don't say, well, it's $2,000 for one person and it's $2,500 for 3. No, $1,997 all in, all ready for all of you guys. And if you decide to do the payments plan, you also get direct access to everything tonight. You don't have to wait till your third payment has been paid. You get everything in today. What if I can't attend? Is there a replay? Yes. That's one of the things that we do is we record the calls. I have international clients and I rotate between 1 p.m. in the afternoon one week and 7 p.m. Central Time the next time. People will send in questions. We do it in the timestamp. A lot of times if I get your question, I'm just going to answer it real quick and send it back to you anyway, but then I'll bring it up in the group so that everyone can learn. That's the reason why I'm able to do it at the price I'm able to do it, because I'm helping everyone learn. If it's just going to be me and you, it costs you $500,000. I won't do it for less than that anymore. And I get people hitting me up all the time who do have money. This is what I love doing. This is my jam right now. What if I can't afford this tonight? Is there anything else that you can do for me? There is. Okay. So when this whole coronavirus thing came about, everyone was like, Rick, I see the value in having you. I just can't physically afford you right now. And I said, okay, what can I do to still give everyone access to my knowledge and what it is that I do, but understanding what's happened right now? And this is what I came up with. We've created the Backstage Pass. For those of you that were smart enough to stick around, you're going to see this offer. And by the way, there's 2 more things after this. So if you've already gotten sticker shock, I'm sorry about that. here's what we wanted to do for you. I wanted to give you all the knowledge, information, the tools that the All Access Pass members get. That's the fan base blueprint. I wanted to give you access to all previous management sessions, over 2 years of me answering artist questions, plus access to future recordings. I want to give you access to the private Facebook group. I want to give you the ability, when things get better, to be able to upgrade into the Access Pass without having to wait. Because tonight, what's going to happen is those that don't get in are going to be put on a wait list. Lloyd, welcome. And then if you are already in my world, you get the ability to come in. So basically, it's a $13,000 value. You're going to get everything but me physically right now for only $497. What I wanted to do was go back to my original course price from 2011 and make that available for you. And I'm also willing to do 2 installments there of 300 spaced out 30 days apart. So the only thing that you're not getting there is the MIB Masterclass, advanced training, and direct access to me. Okay. But what I'm going to do when you decide you want to upgrade, I'm going to go ahead and let you use this as a down payment, and I'm going to apply that to your All Access Pass. So when you join the All Access Pass and you send in your $19.97, you're going to get a nice little email back from me that says, Rick Barker just sent you $497. By the way, those of you that are here who've already purchased the Social Media for Music course, you're going to get an email from me later on that says, Rick Barker just sent you $97. Everything you spend with me, I allow you to apply it. I am the only person in the world who does that. It's important to me, okay? It's just kind of how I roll. All you need to do is go to ricksliveoffer.com. Now, there is not a number restriction on the Backstage Pass, okay? Also, too, so let me just show you these 2 different options right here real quick. You've got the one payment, $19.97, or you can do the 3 installments. That will get you the All Access Pass. Or you can do the $497 one time, or 2 installments on the 300 to get you the Backstage Pass. Okay, all you need to do is go to ricksliveoffer.com. So let me go in and start reading some more questions here. Now, I will not answer questions about your specific career. One, I don't know enough about you. We're just going to determine whether management's right for you. Maybe it's the Backstage Pass, or maybe it's one of my other programs. Right now, there are only 1, 2, 3. There are only 6 spots left. Kevin Johnson, welcome. And Clayton, welcome. Let's see. Let's see here. Okay, so I understand the money situation. Let me just go ahead and address that right now. Convenience and opportunity don't always go hand in hand. This is a really good opportunity for the right artist. But you know what? Right now, here's what you need to learn, okay? You need to understand that you should be setting up your business properly and social media. Yes, it's great to want the Ferrari, but if you can't afford the Ferrari right now, you drive a Volkswagen to get yourself to work, to make the money, to be able to afford that. So don't put a whole lot of pressure on yourself. I mean, somebody said right now, Rick, I can't even do the $497. Well, you know what? Then why don't we do this? If you go to rickbarker.com/social, you are going to get my social media course that is inside of the All Access group, okay? Everything that you need to set up your social media. We're talking Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, live streaming. Marty said, hey, Rick, you helped me make $4,300. That is all taught inside of this program. I'll give you access to it tonight for only $97. And I'll also go one step further for you. So everybody who's here right now, we've got 66 people that are still sitting here right now, okay? You've got to get your business set up properly. And if you can't afford this next offer that I'm going to make you, respectfully, this isn't the right business for you, because it is a business and it costs money to run businesses. You can't expect people to give you everything, okay? That's not how business works. I've got to make sure that your business is set up properly. So what I did was I extracted the whole business setup section out of the Fan Base Blueprint. As you saw tonight, it's $497 to get access to it. We're going to show you how to get your business set up properly, how to get your music registered, how to get your teach you all the industry lingo that goes along with it. We're going to help you understand music publishing, digital distribution, websites, emails, everything that you need to set up your business. I've extracted that out of the $500 course, and you can have it right now. This shows me who's real. Go to rickbarker.com/RLR. It stands for Record Label Ready, and you get it for only $27. That's not a month. That's not a week. I'm giving you everything you need to set up your business for $27. I'm giving you the social media course for only $97. That would normally, the only time you get it is if you're in the all access. So I'm giving you $97 for that course, $27 for the Record Label Ready course. And you have the ability to take that, go do yourself a couple of Facebook Lives or Instagram Lives, build your audience, and then you can come back and go buy the Ferrari. And then you can come back and get into the all access pass. I'm not going to let you use money as an excuse, but you have to have some skin in the game. Okay. The value of free is nothing. It costs me hundreds of thousands of dollars a year to run my business and to learn the things that I teach you guys. You've got to have a little skin in the game. So I'm looking at a whole bunch of money complaints over here. I just eliminated those complaints. So you've got a couple different offers. Matt, if you could throw the links in there as well. ricksliveoffer.com is going to get you the opportunity to come in, the all access, and Backstage Pass, the other two here. Rick, do you think your courses and tips will apply for classical music artists? Yes. Everything's about an audience, Wendy. It really has nothing to do with you. If you are completely shy, you're not willing to do the work, you're not willing to get out of your comfort zone, you're waiting for people to come to you, then no, nothing I have will help you, and I won't even take your money. But if you want to get your music out into the world, yes, everything I have can help you, whether it's the $97 social media course or having me as your manager. Either one, you pick the one that's right for you. I'm not going to tell you that you have to have the more expensive one to be successful, because you don't. Okay. You need to have whatever works best for you. Someone's asking, is there a guarantee? I offer a 100% money back guarantee with the following conditions. Okay. You're going to do the intake form. Let me stop this so you can see my face when we talk this, because I want this to be very clear. I'm going to give you 100% money back guarantee. You fill out the intake form. You secure your spot tonight. You fill out the intake form. I listen to the music. You and I get on our one-on-one, and I just feel it's not going to be the right fit. I will refund you 100% of your money back, because I don't need you here. I need you to be successful. What will end up happening is we'll take a look at what's going on, and I may help you get into a songwriting program. I may make a recommendation that you start over here, get this done, and then move back in. I don't need your money. I need successful people in my program. I can't clutter the group with a brand new beginner who's not released music, who hasn't done anything. Just because you have the money, I told you, not all money's the right money. So I'm very selective, but I have to make sure that you're qualified to be in the course. That's why we do it this way. So you secure your spot tonight in the All Access Pass program. You and I will be on a one-on-one call within the next couple of days, depending on when you schedule it. And if for whatever reason it doesn't work, I will refund you back 100%. All right. Okay. Let's see. I'm a track guy wanting to produce track for top liners. Although I purchased from you, I'm looking every bit of information so I can learn from, enjoy. What is the best way to find co-writers or artists who need a track guy? That is something I could easily teach you with Johnny Boy. And also there's over 700 people inside that Facebook group, and we have some amazing vocalists. Matter of fact, one of my clients just won Songland. Not this Monday, but last Monday. People Beats was here about a month and a half ago and came in, and today we were putting together his strategy for after winning the show. So yeah, what it is you're going to have to use social media to go out and find singers. So you're going to still do it the same way. It's just you have a different client. So yeah, I have a lot of producers in here as well. Gabe from Legion Beats and Busy Work Beats. They're all buddies of mine. So we've got a lot of very talented rappers inside of the group as well. Can I pay monthly? Yes. So we do have the 3-pay option on the all access, and we have a 2-pay option on the Backstage Pass. You just pick which one works best for you. Those of you that are raising your hands, I'm not going to be going there. Hold on real quick. Let's see what we got here. Luke, congratulations. Backstage Pass. Jacobo, very nice. Record label ready. Awesome. Good to see you there. We had Mandy, congratulations. All right, Clayton, already congratulated you earlier. Chloe came in as a Backstage Pass, so welcome to you guys. This is such a bittersweet situation. I'm restarting my whole music career, writing, composing, but nothing I have is ready. Do you think this amazing offer suits my situation? Marco, it really depends on how fast you want to work. Now, if you think it's going to take a year for you to get your music correct, no, I wouldn't recommend investing $2,000 right now. If you think that it's just a matter of months and you're going to be ready to roll and this isn't going to put you out making that investment, then yeah, then we can help you get everything set up. So when you do launch that music, you've got an audience, you've got everything in place that you want to get in place. So yeah, whatever it is, if that makes sense for you, yes. If not, then I would hold off. I would just take advantage of that $27 and $97 offer that we have right now. And then later you could always upgrade. How much music do I need to have out there before working seriously with you? I think a couple of singles are not enough. It really depends, Alessandro, on what else you have. But I would say this: if you're having to ask the question, I wouldn't make that investment right now. I would go ahead and continue to work on your music. Go ahead and get your socials, your business set up properly. Make sure that you're getting paid. And then when you start seeing that the fans are really wanting more, and now we can magnify the fans that you built, we can take that and we can grow with it. So in your situation, even though it looks like you can afford it, I wouldn't make that investment right now. Somebody just said, I can't believe you're turning down money. Like I said, not all money is the right money. I want to be able to make this work for you. And if it can't work for you, you're going to be miserable. And if it can't work for you, you're going to go in the group and just be that person. We don't want that. The product is most important. How much emphasis would you put on professional recordings from Nashville? Trevor, let's just say this. The Grammy award-winning record was just recorded in someone's bedroom, okay? You don't have to be in a professional recording studio. You can have quality music recorded right in your house today. So don't get so caught up on that. But when you want to start competing, yes, it's got to sound great. But today, I mean, Brad Paisley recorded his guitar parts on the back of his bus. It was crazy to see. So I don't know that you need to invest all that money in. You need to have professional recordings, but going and getting fancy studios, I think that's a wasted expense. 170 monthly. No, I don't do it monthly, handle done. I said, if we break it down, it turns out to be 170 a month, but I can't do it on a monthly basis. Just because of so much. I'm showing you exactly the opportunities that you have as one fee. If you want to save $100, you do it one time, or you're doing it in 3 payments, but I don't do 12-month installments. Tried that before. It was a nightmare. The bookwork, everything that has to go along, people just kind of dipping their toe in the water. I want people that are all in because I'm all in. You know, it's like when I first started selling this, I only was doing once a month. Now I do it every week. And I dig it. I love it. Thank you for the talk so far. You're welcome. My question is, do you take cover artists? My main platform is YouTube, and I'm currently working on uploading my covers. You know what, Payne? I don't think management would be right for you. I think the Backstage Pass would be good for you because you're going to want to make sure that at some point you're getting paid for the cover work that you're doing. At the least, take a look at the social media for music and the record label ready stuff, but no, management's definitely. I would not just take on just a cover artist. There we go. Kevin, I think Kevin's already in, but let me go ahead and see his question here. Oh, hold on here. Welcome, Ben, for Social Media for Music. I have A song set to release to Canadian country radio May 11th and then August 18th. I'm all over the map. It's me, myself, and I. I'm trying to maintain and get started with Instagram. Are you able to bring clarity? I will bring a lot of clarity to you, Kevin. I promise. Thank you for your advice on choosing another digital distributor. You're ready. You're welcome, Chloe. As an initial setup artist, only being going for 5 months, all these tools are amazing. However, this could be too early. Yes, I think it's too early for you, Chloe, but I already know you follow instructions because you asked me a question. I gave you the answer. I would go get the record label ready, which I think you might have done that already. And Sam's already set up his one-on-one, so that'll be good. Yeah, so go ahead and get the social media for music and the record label ready. And what I mean by record label ready is we're helping you get your record label set up and be ready because you are your first record company. Does this offer expire? Yes and no. So here's the thing. I'm making offers with prices tonight. The $27 and $97 right now, I'm going to keep that around for a little while. I'll just be honest with you. I'm not going to create some fake scarcity, which is what marketers tend to do sometimes. I want you to be able, but at some point I'm going to have to raise that back up because like I said, people have paid multiple hundreds of dollars to get access to that. But I went to them and I said, look, guys, this is what I'm doing with COVID. I'm helping as many people as I can. And they understood. So that $27 and $97 offer will not always be there. The $497 will not always be there. The $19.97, that'll be there for a while. So you're okay there. I only have a Christmas album out currently. When I finally book an appointment at the studio to record my personal, is it still worth it to pay? Annalise, I wouldn't pay $2,000 right now if all you have is a Christmas album. I would definitely start in the business, the early stages of the setup, but I would not do the $2,000 right now. That is a really good question. Hi, my name is Gabo. I'm an artist from South America. I'm in talks with sponsors, want to get out of the country because my audience is difficult to find here. Is there answer a personal manager where I can find one? So Gabo, here's what I would do. The internet breaks down the walls and the barriers. You can find fans all over the world. Start with the $97 and the $27 course. Okay. I would not accept you into the management yet because it's going to be stress. You know, if money stresses out anyone, you don't want to do this. Trust me. It's hard to work that way. That's why when everyone was like, you know, Rick, I would pay the $2,500 a month. I said, no, let me get this to where there's no stress. I want you to be able to focus and have clarity, you know, and that's why we're able to do this. So where I would focus on first is the social media for music, rickbarker.com/social, and getting your business set up and your music registered properly. That's the big one, because if you put it out there and you haven't set it up, they don't know who to pay. That's why it's so important and why I wanted to release that course. So those two will help you there. How do you work with artists are also in TV film industry as actors? Well, Susan, tonight, my client, Ariana, is on the season finale of Prodigal Son. I have quite a few actors and actresses who are in my world. And what they've learned is that the social media strategies that I teach have helped them with their acting as well. I also have people who come to me who are managers that just come into my world because they want to be able to brainstorm and bounce ideas. It's like having me as a co-manager in that situation. So yes, I do work with people who also are actors and actresses. And for full disclosure, I also have 2 real estate agents that are in my world because we do a lot with Facebook ads and Instagram ads and things like that. And they just kind of like the way that I taught there. So welcome on board, Daniel, for Record Label Ready. So yeah, we have a couple real estate agents there too if anybody's looking to buy a house in Nashville. What is the minimum requirement to start working with me? I don't know, Edgar's, that I have really a minimum requirement, but you need to understand that we're investing in a year together. Okay. So this isn't going to happen tonight, tomorrow, the next day. You may not have music set up yet, but you may be a total business person. I really won't know until you go through the intake form. But if you don't have any social presence whatsoever, if you haven't released any music whatsoever, I would not recommend this. One is because I'll look at it and I'll say, you know what, this just isn't going to work. And I would rather save that for somebody who's trying to come in tonight. But if you ultimately want to make money with your music. Here's my goal for everyone, that everyone is, like I always tell people, if I can show you how to make $50,000 a year doing what you love, which is music, you're making more than a lot of people doing what they hate. And if you have a lifestyle that you need more than 50,000, then we need to go out and find more people. My job is to help you set up your music business and to start monetizing, building, and growing a fan base. It's not to get you a record deal. It's not to get you a publishing deal. It's none of that. It's to help you have a sustainable business doing music. What's funny is Sean, who just came in, he goes, my goal every year is just to let the money that I make from my music career support my music career. He's in the Army. He's got money to support his family. He just doesn't want to keep losing money on his music career. So he just wants to break even. So everybody comes different. So Edgar's, that's really going to be something that we would discuss. But like I said, if you're at the ground zero, then I wouldn't recommend that for you. If I get some money from sponsors, what would be your recommendation? Gabo, social media for music, the $97 and the $27 program. You being in another country, you not really having the ability, like you said, to reach the audience that you want. You do not want a $2,000 investment driving you crazy right now. Is that last record label course only if we want a record label? No, Kate, I think I've already answered that. This was a little earlier. No, it's to get you set up because you are your first record label. So it's to make sure that you understand how to get yourself protected and set up properly. Does that apply both ways? If after the one-on-one meeting, it doesn't work for the artist either, would you also be willing to refund? Yes, John, after the one-on, we will make that decision there. But after that, I don't do refunds because you took someone else's spot and there's a waiting list. I don't. So here's the thing that I do. I don't want anyone that's just going to come dip their toe in the water. I don't want anyone that's just going to go for 3 months and then change their mind. I would rather get rid of you right now. I would rather you not even be here. So after that one-on-one meeting, that's when we mutually decide if we want to continue. So yes, the ball is obviously in your court as well. That's a great question, by the way. I'm from Brazil. My music doesn't fit the Brazilian industry. It fits the U.S. music industry. Do you think we can trail a path? Gabby, I have a lot of Brazilian clients, actually. So yeah, we are able to do that. And the thing is we're not out touring. Touring's not going to come back for a while, guys. Just so you understand, they're going to get the restaurants at 50% capacity, but they're not going to cram people into these small clubs. So right now, the cool part about my clients is they've been making money. Why? Because we've been teaching them how to build these relationships before COVID. That's why I got real excited, okay, is because this is what we were already doing. And then all of a sudden I saw John Legend and all these famous people doing it. I'm like, they're kind of doing what we've already been doing. So yeah, COVID has nothing to do with what it is that we do. The only thing it's done right now is allowed me to come in and understand the financial situation that a lot of people are in, but also understand that this is my job. I have to pay my bills as well. So I made adjustments the best way that I could that wasn't going to go against people that had already paid a much higher price before COVID, because I have to keep integrity in place as well. I watch out for you guys as much as I watch out for myself. Record label ready again. What that is where you are going to get everything you need to set up your business. You're going to understand the lingo of the business. These are all videos. These are videos and handouts. You're going to walk right through. I'm going to tell you what your website should look like. I mean, it's really freaking cool. There are no refunds, by the way, on Record Label Ready. Because I extracted that from that course, you know, if you decide you don't want to do the work, you lost 27 bucks. I'll just tell you that right now. So that one, unbelievable what I was able to pull off for you guys in that. I extracted a whole entire section. Social media for music. That does come with also 100% money back guarantee with a condition, because I'm all about workers, okay? If you do watch all the videos, you implement the strategies, and if it doesn't work, then I'll refund your money. But if you come in and you don't do the work and you're just trying to pull all this information, I don't want you. I would rather not even have you into my world. So I put conditional guarantees on things because the only way you're going to be successful in life is if you do the work. All right, so here we go. Is there an audience for Christian folk rock? Yeah, yeah, there's a huge audience for that. Let's see. So what exactly are you looking for when you're thinking about doing business with an artist? I'm looking for someone who is willing to do the work. I work best with hustlers. I work best with people that treat it like a business. I don't work well with people that are just here if they want to be famous. I can't help you. If you want to be famous, go to YouTube, you know, do a sex tape, could go viral, marry a rapper, get your own fragrance. But yeah, I don't look for anybody that wants to go in that route. One of the things that I'm also looking at right now is I want to be able to help those people that understand that it's a business. You know, that's the big thing for me right now, is that if you understand that it's a business, then I can help you. There are no shortcuts. There are no secrets. All we're doing is speeding up your learning process is what we're doing. We're making sure that you don't have to make the mistakes that everybody else made. We're making sure that if you need something, I can get somebody on the phone to help answer your questions. But the most important thing for me is that the artist understands it's a business and that their music, they've got to have music. It doesn't have to be great, but it has to be good. And that's what I'm really continuing to focus on. And that's why it's like, why do you, I mean, like I said, when I have these clients that come to me and they go, who are your clients? And if I go show them and they go, oh, and they listen to it, they're like, dude, that guy just took that person's money. All he wanted was money. I want people going, damn, they're good. So that's what I'm looking for. Thank you very much, Ben. I appreciate you. Gabby, by the way, thank you. Very grateful for your time. You're welcome. Let me just get through these last questions and then we'll call it a night. I'm looking, any recommendations for getting music played on radio stations? Ben, that is a very expensive game, my friend. And right now too, remember, this is everyone's radio station, you know, so we want to make sure that we're getting on as many of these as possible. So I try to make sure that the right person is listening at the right time. So I do a lot of ads. We do a lot of paid ads. Nagambi, you keep raising your hand, but I need you to put your question, type it in the Q&A part, or I won't be able to see it. With the record label ready, does that also include an album? That makes no sense. Record label ready, all record label ready. We're not going to again record you an album. No, that all that is business setup stuff. So yeah, no, it does not include an album. Are the exclusive training courses that are existing online courses? Yes. Wendy, great question. The online courses are not just for a year. The Backstage Pass, because you're getting access to the recurring management sessions, that is a $497 yearly fee. The all access, you get to keep those. Social media, you get to keep those. I'll put out another social media course in 2021. Those of you that already own 2020 can upgrade into that for half the price is what I do on that every single year. As long as there's access to the internet, you have access there. Have you thought about adding a TikTok lesson? We do have a TikTok lesson in there, Kate. I think it's just one video that we did on that. I don't do a lot with TikTok. And the best thing right now you all could do for TikTok is just to make sure that your distributor gets your music on there. Maria, I put the question in the wrong side. I've already released music through TuneCore, getting ready to sign up with DistroKid. Yeah, so I'm not answering specific questions about your business, Maria. So you can go type in what happens after a year. You can only have one distributor per song, but that just means that's the person collecting your money. So you're better off asking them that question. I mean, I have an album. Will record label ready also cover that as well as a single? That still is it. Yeah, it does it. Ash, record label ready means we're preparing you how to be a record label. It has nothing to do with your songs. It has everything to do with setting up your business legally. Do you think the way artists are digital marketing today, live streaming Facebook, will be viable even after things get back to normal? I think it's going to be even more important, Ray. Let's see. Any tips on choosing an artist name? No. Go to CD Baby. They did a whole band, whole podcast episode on that. Do we get you after a year? Yes, Maria. After a year, if you want to stay in management, you renew for $997 for the year. So I kick off $1,000. So everybody new coming in pays $1997. At the end of the year, if you said, hey, I want to stick around, you only pay $997 one time to renew. There we go. Do you have any time for a quick phone call tonight? No, I don't. The calls that will happen for us are going to happen. Sam, I think you already got it. Let me see what you have. I got a calendar invite here. Sam, it looks like you're already good, but here's the thing. Email me your phone number. And then when I get off here, I don't know where you're located. So just send me a quick message to me privately. And then I'll hit you back because you get my phone number anyway. And then, yeah, if we need to have a quick conversation tonight, we can. But if not, it looks like you're set up for this Wednesday. So let me know. So you just got a receipt email from me, Sam. And if you reply back to the invitation to this, let me do this, Sam. Let me go into participants. And this will come to you right now. Hold on. I'm going to chat with Sam. Where'd the chat go? Sam, I just sent you my cell phone number. So if you will just text me yours, I'll hit you right back. Okay, let me just go in real quick. Looking forward, Rick. Thank you. Let's kill it. I'm with DistroKid and with SoCan. Do I still need Sound Exchange to collect royalties? Yes, you will, Kevin, because Sound Exchange collects for internet radio. SoCan is your performance rights organization. They collect for terrestrial radio, which is like traditional radio stations. Sound Exchange is Sirius, Pandora, and things like that. So yes, you do need both, but you're set there. I'm willing to put in all the work, and I would love it if you would be my manager. Then make the investment, Ash. I realize how that question might make me look. I'm genuinely keen to take the plunge. Big fan. Talking to my band at the moment. Awesome. Got that. So wonderful. Listen, thank you guys so much for being here this evening. I know I've kept you. We've been here coming up on almost 2 hours, but I felt that it was very important. Welcome, man, to all the new clients. I mean, we've got, let me welcome a couple other ones here real quick. Gonzalo, welcome aboard. Backstage Pass. We've got Kate, picked up record label ready. Sam, I just got you earlier. We've got David, who picked up record label ready. Awesome. Gonzalo, congratulations, guys. Also, too, you'll get access to a replay on this, and we'll make sure that you have those links as well. But listen, no matter what it is, if you can't afford the $27 and you're still here, I mean, right now, I'm looking that we've still got 53 people here. Okay, so here's the options that you have once again. Okay, so let me go share with you. Let's go back here and let's go in. So we'll send this out. If you can't afford it right now, here's what I want you to do. Go subscribe to my YouTube channel. I've got probably 30 videos now that will completely help you for free. Go subscribe to my podcast. You can get everything from rickbarker.com, my website. Go to my website /resources. You can get a lot of great resources there for free. My YouTube, my podcast. I have 199 episodes on a podcast. Great knowledge and information. There's a lot of people that send me going, dude, I've never been able to get one of your courses, but I did this and I made X amount of dollars. I just want you to have success, because when the time is right, if you've gone and used my free stuff and had success and you're starting to make money, it's not going to be hard to get you into my world. I just want you to have success today. So go do the work. Don't expect someone to magically show up and make everything happen for you. So go grab a free copy of my book, go to my YouTube channel, go to my podcast, go to my website, get everything that you can. And when you can scrounge, go to your grandma and say, Grandma, can I borrow 27 bucks? I need to protect my music business, you know, whatever it is. But if you can't afford anything right now, go ahead and make sure that you did get it. Okay. All right. Chloe, Let me see what you did. Let me go ahead and stop this recording. I'm gonna go ahead and stop the recording. So goodbye, everyone. But Chloe, I signed up to my Gmail account and have received this by iCloud MIB fan base pass, not backstage pass. So Chloe, what you've got, let me just show you real quick. MIB, Music Industry Blueprint, is my business. So what you have right now,